Hey guys, and welcome back to Arcane Assist. Today we have Durst versus Doomy3. John, this is a list you just played at the Sioux, and we'll get right to that after I tell you what my list is, because I'm going first. So I have Durst, which I won at the Sioux, so I'm pretty excited to play him. He has a Battlegroup heavy list, because it's the Creator's Wrath tier. So I have 6 Warjacks. I have a Vigilant, a Crusader, a Templar, 2 Reckoners, and 2 Castigators, and a Vassal Mechanik, 2 Vassals of Menoth, a Wrack, the Covenant, and 2 Choirs. The Vassals and the Covenant are free in this list, so it's an extra 10 points, which compared to some tiers isn't too great, but like in Menoth, it's pretty solid. And not to mention, thanks to tier bonuses, as you've actually seen on this channel already, they get solos, and the choir get Repo 3, which is incredibly handy. It just lets you get out of the way of jacks. It lets you avoid eating blast damage. Just overall ups their survivability and allows them to even catch up with their jacks better. Castigators are an interesting choice, I feel. A lot of people don't take them, but in this list in particular, they're great for power attacks. They thread a decent distance because they're 1 more speed than a Crusader. And they have Ashen Veil, which in combination with Bulwark makes them surprisingly hard to kill, because if they're base-to-base with something else, they have Ashen Veil and Bulwark. So they're effectively against living models. Def 14 is assuming they're not immune to fire. So it's a good time. So that's my list. What have you brought?
So this is my Doomshaper3 list. I just finished at the Sioux. Playing this list up to 4 times in Masters. Love it. It's really strong. It's the Power Dunia theme list, where I get free shit like every other theme right now. So I got Doomshaper3. I have double Mauler. I have an Earthborn, Axer, and Mulg as the Battlegroup. Really solid, very fast. Earthborn with a new terrain setup. Always get +2 speed or +2 armor or wherever he is on the table. So he's a huge threat. I have Hoarluk, the Iron Strike, and his Battlegroup. I have Pyrotroll. Just gives me that extra models and warrior model to go off to the side and do its own little thing. Has his range animus. Hot shot's pretty good. I got a Northcan Shaman, just for a cloud. I took the Northcan Shaman for Fuel Cache in 2016 and a cloud, so it gives me a little cloud wall. But having Fuel Cache in 2017, it gives you Pathfinder now, so it doesn't...
Yes. It's also worth noting that this is Steamroller 2017 Week 3 CID, so we actually pick our objective on a round-by-round basis in a tournament setting. Oh. So we get to see our opponent's list before we pick our objectives. So that's a thing. We both picked Fuel Cache just because we have a lack of Pathfinder in our lists, but...
Yeah, so like then I have free Shaman, 3 free Whelps, free Hoarluk, I have a Dunia Knot, and I have the Max Stone with the Elder. So that's my list. Really solid. I take full benefit of the free stuff. My tier is Threshold +2, which is really good. The thresholds are now 11 and 10 on my War Beasts. Mulg's only Threshold 9, and then I also get just free shit, and I got upkeeps for free. So something to mention. Upkeeps are free from models in my group. So Doomy3 out of mission is free. Hoarluk, his hot shot is free. The catch is it's free to upkeep for Warcasters only first turn.
Warlocks or Warcasters.
So Hoarluk has to pay for his upkeep, and Doomy3 does not.
Yeah, Hoarluk can put out his upkeep, but doesn't get to upkeep it for free because he is not a Warlock.
So that's my list.
Weird rules.
That's my list into this new Steamroller, and see how it does.
So I'm just out of curiosity, because a lot of people play Doomy3 in a different way, and they bring Colossals. Why have you chosen to just not take any, or have you considered even taking 1 Colossal and some heavies? What's the thought process that goes behind that?
So I can't take full benefit of this list. Tim basically came up with most of it. I discussed some things.
Credit?
Yeah, credit, whatever. I discussed a lot of things with him and talked to him about things. I asked about a Mountain King instead of 2 Maulers. I lose out on points down the line, and I feel like the more heavies you have on the board under his feet, the more potential damage you can do, especially if you can feat for the extra die roll to hit. So that like if I lose 2 Maulers, I have to lose 6 more points. So that's my whelps, and then two points from something else, because our Mountain King's 36 points. So I lose quite a bit in the army just for putting the Mountain King there. And I feel having 2 Maulers, it gives me rage on both sides where they can cast. And having Nemesis for free, they can cast their rage on Nemesis on themselves for free after they get rushed. And they can go farther down the table and threat more. So basically 2 Maulers can do the work of a Mountain King and more. Like, they can do a lot of work because rage and Nemesis is free for them. They're both Fury 5.
All right. Makes sense to me. So with the lists out of the way, let's head on into the game. So here you can see we have set up the scenario of Recon 2. Now, I'm not sure John's sold on this, but I actually really like the scenario. I think that the flags provide a really good scoring opportunity for casters that want to be really far up front and generally won't be able to score flags in, say, the old Recon because they're far off to the side and not where your caster wants to be. Like a Terminus is going to love this scenario because he can just stand in the middle of the board and just offer so much scenario presence. And I don't think, at least with a terrain setup like this, you're going to see many people going to be able to blow up the objective. But I also think it's good to have sort of a counterpoint to Outlast that has 2 circular zones for warrior scoring. These have 2 rectangle zones for jacks to score in. So it's a good balance in terms of scenario selection as well. Terrain setup-wise, we used Scatter again. This is our second time using Scatter, but this time in Week 3, they only scatter D3. We still have a very wide-open board in both of mine and John's opinions. It's just all over the place. We have some very irrelevant terrain in the form of the obstruction up in the top left and the wall in the bottom left, and then both the rubble and the hill on the right side are also not going to be relevant later on in the game. They're more just hurdles you have to get over during your deployment as opposed to anything else. And I think that's due in part to the fact that you have to start by putting the terrain in the middle of a quadrant, and there's a chance it'll just go away. Like, scattering in the opposite direction isn't great, and you can, with your other 2 pieces being within, or the rest of your pieces, it could be 1 to 3 more pieces after that, but being within 10 helps, but they could also scatter to make huge gaps like we've got on this table here.
So, thinking about the scenario and the train, I really think this is my first time playing Recon 2. I think the reason why I didn't like it after this gameplay is because of the train setup. I feel like the train setup just kind of like, it wasn't there, and we ended up just playing up the table, and there's no other pieces of terrain like the wall or the forest or the hill or the lava or the waterfall. Like, all that stuff just doesn't matter.
I feel like some suggestions for a solution to scatter terrain, because I don't think deploying it in the middle of a quadrant works. I think it makes the terrain too far spread out because you want terrain to be closer to the middle of the table so that it's relevant. Perhaps the solution is still deploying a line of sight blocking piece of terrain in the middle of the table, and instead of deploying it in the middle of the quadrant, have a piece of terrain within 10 inches of the centerpiece, but still 1 piece within each quadrant scattering from there. Because then they're closer to the middle, and even if they scatter far away, they're not in the middle of each quadrant. Because that'll create, like, say, that obstruction in the top left could be where about my Reckoner is now. Or it could scatter closer to the middle of the table to closer to my objectives as opposed to further away. The issue is it's random. It's less deliberate as to where you're putting the pieces, so you can't guarantee that every piece of terrain is going to be relevant. Not that every piece is always going to be relevant on every table regardless of the terrain setup, but this makes it more likely to happen. So, John, take us through what you're doing in this first turn.
So, if you guys ever watch me play, I always having my measuring sticks out there, I'm making sure I measure threat ranges on my on his jacks. So I use my 2-inch widget to measure their melee, and then I add a 10 down there because that's how much he threats for speed wise. So the Avengers, they threat 12.
I don't have anything called an Avenger.
What are they? The
with Reckoners?
Are they these things? Reckoners? Sure. They threat
Reckoners threat 12. Yes.
Threat 12. So I use a 2-inch widget to measure their melee, and then 10 inches after that.
Yes.
So I make sure my Earthborn, my Mulg, my Mauler, all that stuff's outside 12. I make sure my Earthborn's 2 inches beside rough terrain still, so he gets +2 speed, so he's speed 7. And I basically run everything up. I keep hop shot. Add mission bonus for free. I dump 5 into the stone. 4 into the stone. I gave rush to Mulg. I camp 1.
Cool. That's a lot. So on I had 2 free upkeeps because of my tier. I put Hollowed Avenger on a Crusader. I kind of debated not even putting it out at all, just because I'm not sure how relevant it's going to be with my only warrior models being support staff and choir. But I figured if it does come up, it could be helpful to extend some threat or just realign so that I can get into a decent position or even just gain an extra attack. But it's there. It was free. I might as well have done it, so I did. I also get Bulwark out for free, which is Durst's signature spell. That being, if you've never played as or against Durst, Bulwark says that models in Durst's battle group that are base to base with another model in Durst's battle group gain +2 defense and cannot be knocked down. It's very strong. It's also it dictates the way you have to place and move your models very heavily, because you have to you want at least every model in your battle group to end up base to base to another model in your battle group. So this dictates how you're going to charge models. This dictates where you're going to place them when you shoot. It also makes you have to determine which jacks you want next to other jacks. So, for example, I don't want my Templar and Crusader to be together on one side of the table and two Reckoners or Castigators on the other side, because then neither of my Crusader or my Templar are benefiting from Ashenvale. So a tactic I'm going to use commonly in this game is, here's a Castigator and a Crusader, here's a Castigator or a Reckoner and a Templar. Now they're both benefiting from both Ashenvale and Bulwark. So it's something to consider. This Reckoner is just going to take a full boosted shot at the Shaman, because it's the only thing in threat range that isn't a heavy, and I don't think my POW 14 shots are going to do a whole lot, because I would like to pray for no spells with my choir, because otherwise I'm just going to get strangleheld, and it's not going to be a good time. So, the plan with this Reckoner was I'm now in the threat range of both the Mauler and the Earthborn. I'm going to put a Castigator in front of him because the Castigator is less valuable than the Reckoner, in my opinion of this matchup. But he's still going to be def 14 effectively because of Bulwark and Ashenvale. I also can give him Enliven, so he'll be less likely to die if John decides to go in on him. Because I feel like this turn I have to get it at least in the zone, or else I'm going to be starting way behind on scenario, and that's not a thing I'd like to do, personally.
Is being behind in scenario so early that big irrelevant right now, since you need to be up by 6 to win? Because if you give me 2 points early on,
so
it's not that bad if we go back 2 points, 2 points, 1, or even 1.
It's not so bad now, but it will be bad 4 or 5 turns from now. Because I fully believe that scenario nowadays is not about getting 6 ahead of your opponent. It's about surviving 7 turns, and then when the game ends, being ahead by 1 or 2 points. And if I give up 1 or 2 points now, I'm never going to catch up.
Okay, that's relevant right there. Yeah, that's a good point.
So I'm moving into positions where next turn I can hopefully survive your charge and get an effective counterattack off. And normally in situations where both players have very defensive feats, so I have +4 armor to all my jacks, John has healing every time I hit them.
D3 +3 healing.
And in that situation, you normally don't want to be the one who feats first. However, being out-threaded and being in a position where if I don't move up, I'm going to lose, I feel like I have to feed here. And I feel like I can also get my caster into a pretty aggressive position for next turn, which is good for me because Durst likes being up the board so that he can make great use of his own weapon, because Recompense is a reach POW 14 with Eruption of Ash Weapon Master. Is really good. And he's not likely to die under his feat turn with Bulwark and just his plethora of defensive abilities that make him nigh unkillable. Because he's a 13-18 when he's base-to-base with a friendly, he's 15-18. And that friendly's probably a Castigator or a Reckoner, so Ashen Veil's going to help me. So I go up and enliven the Crusader, and then on the other side I enliven the Castigator. Basically the plan is eat a bunch of Mauler Beast charges, survive, and then counterattack really hard with a bunch of battled Warjacks. Probably only going to kill one of them because I have to focus really hard on it because the healing's going to kick my ass, but I'm hoping to survive and then be able to take something. So there's the feat token down on the table. We have feated. We're in the zone. We're here.
So I didn't anticipate you feeding this early because, as you said, we both know when you have defensive feats first, whoever feats first usually, I wouldn't say loses, usually is coming from behind. Like it needs to climb uphill battle. I find that when I play Doomy 3 and I have my list, even if I run up ahead of time and I feat early, I do the D3 plus healing, I'm like halfway up the board, it gives the opponent something to think about. And usually they can't really solve it because they can't get enough attacks on one War Beast. Or if they do kill one War Beast, they have 3 more coming down their throat. So like, I tend to be the one that actually feat first. I never usually uses a feat to gain the extra die of the attack rolls. So here I actually get to... I debated.
Sorry, hate to interrupt, John, but I just feel it's important to mention the book walked 5, did its no spells aura, and then repoed 3 so that both the Mauler and Mulg are in that so that they can't rage themselves.
Or Arcane Suppression.
Continue.
So I actually get to use the 3 dice on my feat turn, which is pretty big. The crit smite is pretty huge on Mulg, but unfortunately in this matchup I can't do anything because Evan can't be moved. So just hitting though, and gives me that opportunity just no matter what. I usually hit. I'm at 6 or 7. I'll hit defense. Well, usually 10 in jacks, but they become 14 under.
Effectively 14 if you're in Ashen Veil. And since everything's base to base with something,
so they're all defense 12.
They're all defense 12.
So it's pretty good. It forces me to boost almost, which my feat allows me to boost for free because of my feat. So it kind of saves me that extra fury when I go in on this attack, which is pretty huge. I honestly thought you were going back up and just control the zone and just give me one at a time, or even not even give me a jack at all and make me come up and feat first, and let me score 2. But you made a relevant point. If you're too far behind in snow early, it could be an issue later on down that road.
I debated just giving you like both Castigators and enlivening both of them, but I feel like even then I have to back off so far to be out of threat of like both the Earthborn and the Mauler, and then both out of Mulg and the Dire Troll.
Yeah, the Earthborn speed's 7 because of rough terrain, and then rush, so like he can charge 10, and then rush is 12, 13 is threat, and then Mauler's 11. So it's pretty scary. Mulg's 11 as well with rush and all that fun stuff. So my objective's path for Fuel Cache. So in the new Steamroller, it gives Pathfinder. So my blue Mauler was given Pathfinder this round. I'm just now counting out Fury and what I need to do. The no spell thing kind of plays around my math a bit because I usually would do Nemesis for free on my charges. And then as my Mauler would charge in with Rush or even just charges in, will cost Rush on himself. but unfortunately the book
Rage.
Yeah, sorry. Unfortunately, the book has denied that for me. So I need to now make sure Doomy's outside of 10, which I move. And I haven't measured it here in a second. Doomy has to cast Rush now on the Mauler and the Mulg. And now he has to also cast Rush on the another Mauler. So I need to cast Rush 3 times. Or Rage, 3 times here. Because I'm in range of you already. I'm in 9 inches already of you, of all your jacks. You moved up far enough where I don't need to use Rush. So, and my book does free animuses this turn. I figured I would do free animuses anyways on my feet turn. So, like, my top 2 War Beasts, my Mauler would cast Rage on the Earthborn. So, basically just change it, dolly chains it up. And my Earthborn, once he gets in, he'll cast his animuses for free, which is the Earth Blessing, so he can't be moved by a slam, or become knocked down. So I'm camping 1, D3 plus 3, healing every single time I'm attacked, not damaged.
Hit.
Every single time I hit, it's not even damaged. So it's pretty strong. Unfortunately, I forgot to do the hyper regeneration. My blue Mauler was shot to death, or shot 8 boxes, but in the end, it doesn't really matter right now. So Doomy goes, cast nothing else, camping 1, put 1 in the stone, stone's at 5. Doomy not goes, hands out Puppet Master to Mulg, Mauler, and Earthborn. Mulg activates first and charges. 1 for charging. Being Fury 4 now. 1 for charging, so I have to hit. I hit. 18 plus 4, Rage and Stone. So I go to 22. Dice even or dice off 1? Dice off 1.
Dice minus 1.
Dice off 1.
So practically all of my jacks at plus 4 armor go to arm 23. I have a Templar, which goes to arm 25, and I have a Vigilant, which goes to arm 26.
So I use my fists. I hit the red jack. I do minimal damage.
Yeah, you charged the Castigator, did some damage, did a decent amount of damage. You hit the Crusader, and with your fist, do a bit of damage, and I proc Enliven. I can't quite get out of threat range of the Mauler. However, I decide that not letting Mulg kill 2 heavies is probably a better idea. So I'm going to just walk around the Reckoner.
And he takes a free strike.
Yep, still take a free strike. But 1 full boosted attack is better than death.
So I hit. Can't be slammed. I roll a 6-5-5.
So 15 damage to that Crusader is not great.
I buy a mace. I hit. Dice off 1. I roll boxcars.
11 damage to the
Dice is
Reckoner,
back,
also not
here.
great.
I hit. I do another 9 more, which should take him out. Oh, my last buy. Sorry, should take him out. And I do 8 more.
Yeah. So on the feet, everything gets plus 4 armor and brace for impact, so they can't be moved by slams, so his crit slams wouldn't do anything to me, or at least wouldn't push me at all. But that doesn't matter when you just kill stuff.
Yeah, when you just spike some damage. So next up is my Mauler. My Mauler gives Rage to my Earthborn, which is right above him. He is going to charge their Jack with a shield guard. Stay outside of 2 inches of Ashelvale, so he's on a rat 6. He has Puppet Master himself. So I charge exactly far enough. I have the 1 inch reach, so I make it. And I don't need rush because you're within 9. So his power will be 16 and 19 to 20. So dice off 4 because you have a shield. Correct?
Dice off 5.
Dice off 5.
Because he goes to 19 to 21 to 25.
So I hit. Dice off 5. I do 11, so I do 6. I do my second attack. My plan here is to kill 2 heavies.
Miss. Puppet Master still miss.
So I'll buy my third attack. So 1 to buy. So buy my second attack. I miss. No, I hit and I boost damage, which didn't do much. I buy, I hit, I boost damage. Dice off 5, does 2. Mauler underperformed, but my Mulg kind of performed heavily for me, so that's okay. My Earthborn has speed 7 currently and has rage, so he can charge 10, 11-inch threat himself. so he can get right in there. The line was good, but he's in Ashen Vale, so he needs 8s to hit.
Yeah.
My dice are already boosted because of my feat. So I hit. He has rage. He's 15. Goes at 18, but he's outside the stone. Kind of misjudged the distance on my stone there. I thought it was 9, but it's only 8. So he's outside the stone. So he's only 18. So it's a dice off a lot. So I do 3 more points of damage. I buy. I hit. I boost the damage because it's dice off 6, 18, 20, 25. Dice off 7. Dice off 7. So yeah, he only does like maybe a total of 9 points overall with a charge attack and boosted. Next up is my Axer. He's gonna give rush to the the pyro. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the pyro because everything on the top side of the board is immune to fire. So just trying to figure things out. This blue Mauler is looking to charge the same jack I'm hammering on, but unfortunately I don't have a line of sight to it. So he has to charge
Castigator.
a Castigator, but he gets within 1 inches of the other model. So he charges a Castigator. I roll. I miss. So I do my second attack. Do my second attack on his shield guard jack. I hit. This guy's armor 16, 19, 20. Dice off 5. I do like 8 points of damage.
Somewhere in this last model, you kill the shield.
Yep. So I hit his shield out. I roll trip sixes and finishes him off.
Finish off the Templar.
So I have my Earthborn on 4, my Mauler, one Mauler on 5, and the other Mauler on 5. So I'm heavy on Fury. I committed a lot. I don't know what I'm going to do with my Pyro. I'm just trying to move around. I'm asking what's defense, is everything engaged. It's just outrageous.
So I believe the question was, what's the defense on your caster? And I was like, I'm engaged, so 13 goes to 17. I'm base to base with the Vigilant, so 17 goes to 19, and the Vigilant gives me cover, so 19 to 23.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
And then you
that.
shot something else.
I shot your
Then you shot the Vigilant
because he
which
wasn't
on
engaged.
26, and you didn't do damage. And then you did 2 damage to my caster
2 damage caster.
via the blast damage?
On the plus side is you're on fire.
I mean, I wouldn't call that a plus
that's
side.
a plus side. You're on fire. The rest of my stuff is looking to hang back. I just want to make sure I don't lose anything. I'm gonna run. I got Whelp up beside Mulg, and I'm gonna run that Whelp behind the Storm Stone Elder behind my other 2 Maulers, just to make sure maybe I can use a Whelp to eat stuff.
To be eaten.
I'm very heavy on Fury, so it's just like.
You also charge Hoarluk in.
No, not this turn. I
Don't
measure threat ranges. I make sure Hoarluk can't be charged.
Right.
Can't
Correct.
be charged. So Whelp runs up beside the Green Mauler and the Earthborn, and that's my turn. I give to Evan on my feat turn, D3 plus 3 healing. Evan, what is your plan?
So neither of the fires go out. Vigilant doesn't take any damage. Durst, I don't think takes any damage. Feet's down. I have 3 heavies in my face, and that is a problem. 4 even with Mulg, even though he's down at the bottom by himself. I need to solve this. A lot of this turn is mostly spent thinking I can just power attack, throw stuff out of the way, because I have 2 Castigators. They have open fists. So how can I just cause a bad time for these trolls? So the plan is Castigator at the bottom is going to throw the blue Mauler into the green Mauler, and then, the original plan is the Castigator is going to throw Mulg out of Doomshaper's control area. So I give him a focus, he powers up, and I believe he's just going to sit on that one focus. I give one to the Crusader, who's then going to walk over and beat Mulg to death with battle and an empower focus. So he'll be at 3. And then on the top side, I have another empower on the Reckoner, because he's probably the highest power weapon I have up there, so he can try to beat on an Earthborn. And thankfully, John has not cast Implacability, so all of this is possible. So,
I can always be thrown in Implacability. I just don't get knocked down.
So step 1 is Empower and walk away. So I give him another focus. And then I go and, because he got creamed by the 3-strike, the mechanic goes over to repair him. Mulg has admonition on him, so he waltzes away. Which is a problem. Because now I have to solve this problem of Mulg existing in a different way. Thankfully, he's still in the threat range of the Crusader, if I'd like the Crusader go after him. But he's still going to heal D3 plus 3. And that's a problem. Especially because she's in the Stone Aura, so it's dice minus 1. Probably still could have thrown with the Castigator out of the Stone Aura, but it's still not a great plan because he's probably not going to kill Mulg. So killing Mulg is probably off the table now. So what else can we try? Well, I can throw that blue Mauler into the other Mauler, and I can throw that Earthborn with the other Castigator into the green Mauler as well, and then we can just beat on some knockdown heavies. That's a plan. It's better than nothing. I'll probably only kill one of them, and I can hope the other one frenzies. So we'll see what happens. It takes a long time to try and unravel this mystery in the actual game time, because when you're faced up against this many heavies less than 2 inches away from your caster, it's generally a problem. I mean, none of them have reach, so I can just walk away, but it's still pretty scary.
I wouldn't really say it's the heavies in your face. I feel like it's the feat itself.
I mean, that affects the heavies in my face.
Yeah, I feel like the feat is more of an issue here, just because, like, if you hit one, they're healing 4 no matter what.
Right. That the heavies in my face are still the problem, because they can't be removed because of the feat. Anywho, Choir walks up, gives some battle out, because they can, and walks away. Other Choir does the same thing. Castigator, Crusader, you both get battle. Walks
Jacks
away.
have battle.
It's funny because I basically don't bother putting out any Choir tokens this game because every Jack always has the same prayer on it.
Yeah, it's either
convenient.
no spells or battle.
Yep. Last turn it was all no spells. First turn it was all no spells. I think I might even just run the first turn, so it didn't matter anyway. And now we're still thinking. Finally. This Castigator just walks up. He's just going to punch the Earthborn because I decide...
Earthborn's not in the stone, so it's armor 18.
Yeah. And I didn't want to throw him into the stone armor.
So you do 7, I heal 6.
It's like, net 1 damage. Okay. This could be better. I wasn't in your front arc or your melee range, so I walked around to the back arc to make this easier to hit.
I heal. You do 7. I heal 6. So net 2 damage.
Now this is really a problem. And he spawns a whelp.
Spawn a whelp.
I
hit.
I missed. I think
oh yeah, you missed this one.
Yeah, that's a problem. It's like, okay, that Earthborn is at practically full health after a heavy went and hit him. This Castigator will try a 2-handed throw. He hits. Strength test, I get 2 dice, you get 1. I roll a 3. So I have a total of 14.
I start with a total of 13 because of stone.
So this fails.
I win.
That is a failed 2-handed throw. I have no more focus, so I can't buy attacks. It's a problem.
And I'm now asking, does that count as a hit? Is that enemy attack?
It is a hit, so he gets to heal the Mauler, and that Mauler was damaged earlier in the turn.
So I heal 4.
Earlier in the game, because a Reckoner shot it last
So
turn.
I heal 4. I don't get a spawn a whelp because I wasn't damaged, though. So
it's like, okay, I still have a Crusader. Crusader can go in on something. Is it better that the Crusader goes in on a Mauler, or is it better that it goes in on Mulg? And I feel like even though the Maulers are up in my face and they're doing really well for damage, that I still need stuff in this zone to contest. And while the book's there, I don't think the book's going to stay there for long. So I also have the Crusader, and this prevents Mulg from just, like, walking in and killing more stuff.
So you hit my Earthborn.
Oh, and the Reckoner's going. He is dice +1 on this Earthborn.
Does 9. I heal 5.
By an attack miss, or I missed one of these. Do some damage.
You do a lot of damage there.
Yep.
I heal 6. I think all said and done, the Earthborn was at 18 life.
Yep.
And he is a 32 box model.
It's not great. So I still have 3 heavies right next to my caster. I'm not feeling great about that. The Vigilant hasn't gone. I thought about slamming a heavy, but I can't quite get 3 inches on any of them. So he's basically just going to run in a position to protect Durst, make sure I don't horribly die. I plan on boundless charging the Crusader here, so that he can charge for free into Mulg, and while doing so, get base-to-base with the Castigator. So I'll have the benefits of both Bulwark and Ashen Veil if Mulg decides to try and get base-to-base with me, which I doubt he will. He'll probably try to avoid that. But at least I'm a higher defense model also contesting the zone. I'm mostly trying to decide what to do with Durst here, because he's not great at killing things that are arm 20 and heal when he hits them, because he's only about 14 Weapon Master, so the Mauler, which he's charging now, the Mauler is going to be dice off 6, and it will heal D3 plus 3 when I hit it. So I hit.
Dice off 6. Weapon
Dice
Master,
off 6.
Dice.
Yep, 4 dice, because I'm a Weapon Master. I do 2 damage.
I roll 5, and I heal.
And it is now full health Mauler.
And now I drop my 3rd whelp. So now every single war beast has a whelp beside him to use for comfort food.
I also screwed this up, because now, since I charged the Mauler, I can't boundless charge the Crusader, because I'm not facing him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I should have boundless charged before I charged myself, but I messed that up and forgot to. So instead, we're just chilling here. I also
by an attacker?
pulled one off the rack. I decided to. I think I might just camp a bunch here, because
You're in a
I decided I'm in a bit of a pickle, and also reducing damage is good when you're about to get hit by several heavies. So Crusader's just going to spend 1 to charge Mulg, because I've also blocked his charge lane to the Blue Mauler.
So you're 1 jack, you're small, just
Vigilant
run?
Yeah, Vigilant runs to be base-to-base with both Durst and the Wrecker. By Reckoner, I mean Castigator.
You charge, you spike some damage here.
Do decent damage to Mulg. He heals 6.
I heal 6. So you do a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Do some damage.
So you did 12, I heal 6.
I unfortunately have to attack with the fist, so I do.
Well, you don't have to. You can just buy.
No, you must use all your initials before you buy attacks.
Oh. So you hit me. Dice off a lot. I heal 6 more. So I've taken 1 damage.
So now buy with the mace.
Hit.
Dice off 2, 3. Dice off 3 because I couldn't battle because he was out of
did
range.
3, I healed 4.
Or, no, this turn he did battle. So he's dice off 1, rather. Book is just going to avoid Mulg's melee, even though he would only take 1 damage. And pray for no spells. Repo a bit. And be within 10 of Doomshaper.
So I'll be taking 0 frenzy checks this turn. I could take 6 back.
That is a lot less than I thought he would be taking.
Yeah,
because whelps exist.
I got whelps. So I basically eat 2 whelps this turn. 1 from the Blue Mauler, 1 from the one from Mulg.
So my advice here, kids, is look behind the troll models because you might find some presents there. And the presents will be walking around, and they'll get eaten and heal fury.
So I got 0 fear on the board.
Because I totally just didn't see the whelps.
I spawned them. I told you I was spawning them. But you get tied up.
You did. However, I did not see them, and that's my fault.
So that proxy base represents where Mulg is going to walk to and beat on his caster. Hopefully it's that easy. So I'm checking how many charges I can get on this stupid book. Because with Doomy 10 inches, I have to move far up the board. If I don't have to move up the board, I can give Rage to Mulg and just make it a little better. Because your defense is 8, 14, need 8s.
15.
15, need 8s. It's pretty bad. And then Ashen Veil.
Assuming you're in Ashenvale,
Yeah. So
it'll be better.
I'm now deciding, like, what do I do with my stones? I'm like, activate the stones first, get them out of the way. So what I'm showing to Evan now is I want to do my Mauler. Eventually I want to activate my Mauler first and do a 2-handed throw to throw that stupid model out of the way so I don't have -2 to attack rolls. Because that's the
You're
thing.
stupid.
Thanks. So I'm like, okay, so first things first, activations. How do I do this? Okay, stones can go. Run charge. I get 3 charges on your neuter. The book. They're at 5. Only need 5s to hit. The other ones are just going to run. Stone just moves up, so it's down to 7-inch aura. 1 hits. Second one hits. Third one misses, so I only take 2 damage. Cool. That's cool. +1 strength. Where is 10 inches? Gotta be on the other side of that forest. Doomy walks the other side of the forest. Doomy also casts spells. Upkeeps cost double, and spells cost 1 more.
Yeah, does the mini feat from the scroll.
So that's his mini feat number 2. I rage both Maulers. And I camp 3 this turn. I'm pretty far up the board as a very squishy warlock, and I decided that I'll just play it safe. So I kind of messed up here. I'm like, I'll do this. I want to Puppet Master him. He'll Puppet Master there, and Evan's like, wait, that's 10 inches from the book. You can't.
2 of the Dunian Knot are within 10 inches of the book, so they can't do their Puppet Masters.
I'm like, cool. Well, the Blue Mauler has Puppet Master. That's one I really need just in case I miss this throw. Like, Blue Mauler will go. He'll turn, spin. He is going to do his chain attack throw, so he's going to actually hit 8s. I want to boost.
He's going up against the Castigator.
Yep,
that he
I
would
want to
like
boost.
To throw.
I miss. I Puppet Master it right away. I hit. I don't boost damage. I pow 20. Second one hits. I do a bit more points of damage. Boost this.
Take out his movement.
Yeah, I still boost it because I don't want to roll trip ones. Well, I roll a
1-1-4. Good boost.
Good boost.
Good boost.
I throw back at this that model back there.
Vassal.
The Vassal. It lands on top of 3 choir members, which is perfect. The choir members all die. Vassal's knocked, or the Castigator's knocked down, and that's cool. Okay, cool. I want to buy an attack on this Jack beside me. I hit. Pow 20. That's off 2. Right? Because armor 22.
The Vassal is arm 21.
21. So
Vigilant. That's his
I
name.
do 1 damage. I do like 4 damage. Next Mauler going to go up. Cool. I want to hit. I hit. I do a bit of damage. I buy. I hit. I'm boosting everything because I just don't want to miss any of these because I want to chain attack throw him.
Also take the movement out.
Into the objective. And the reason why I want to get him away from Durst is...
So I don't get the benefits of Bulwark.
Correct. So throws him into the objective. He takes 3 dice. Pow Rage is 12, 15 plus 1, 16. Dice off a few. I leave him on like 4 or 5 boxes left. Sweet. Now your caster is defense.
13, because there's no Ashen Veil.
6s.
And there's no Bulwark.
Sounds better now. Need 6s. I'm like, sweet. Mulg can now go. He walks there. We measured it up before. I only got my 2 inches on. That's okay. I boost a hit anyways. I crit. I don't want to crit you.
Not yet, anyways.
Not yet, because I measured it. I'm like, yeah, you'll be able to have my crit. Cool. I'm going to pow 19. Dice plus 3?
1.
Oh,
Dice plus 1.
Wow, dice plus 1. So I do 6 damage. You reduce it. You take 1. Well, that was underwhelming. Cool. I'll use my fists.
On the Crusader?
On the
Because
Crusader,
you're not in range for your
correct
fist on my caster?
Oh, so you get retaliatory strike
Oh,
here.
yeah.
So we asked about retaliatory strike. He was wondering if I could retaliatory him back, but it's only on their activation, so I cannot.
Opponent's turn.
Opponent's turn. So I hit with my fist. It is 16 and 19 to 20. That's a pretty strong fist. 19 fists. Do a few points. I buy and I boost. I hit. I crit him. I decide to push him back this time.
Hits the Vigilant, so he doesn't get knocked down because you hit ends base to base with the Warjack.
Evan's like, he's not knocked down now. I'm like, why? Because he's base to base with a Warjack now. I'm like, you son of a... So I'm like, cool, okay. So I'm like, your Jack, he takes a POW 13 strength, 3 dice. This is your caster.
The caster is surprisingly doing all right because of that damage roll.
I rolled trip 1s and a 5.
And then the Vigilant, I think, dies?
Dies from a roll. Yeah.
Just barely.
So
I think you got him to the box.
Your caster's on what? I've done 3 damage with Mulg to your caster.
I think he has 10 boxes left.
Okay, so I've done 5.
Maybe 11.
5 or 6. I don't know what your health is.
It's 19 boxes.
Oh, shit.
He's pretty tanky.
He also took some from fire. Twice, actually. So I'm like, okay, cool. I don't actually kill you. That's not what I want. No, I'm afraid. Okay, Xer, you run in front of Doomy. Horgo 1, you're going to charge this big-ass Jack in your way. You're going to give yourself the filming fist, and you're going to charge. He's a POW 13 and a POW 14. Here we go. Charge with a big hammer. Look for the crit. Doesn't get it. POW 14. 15 because of stone. Dice off 5. Dice off 4 because of armor 19.
Yep.
Dice off 4.
Does really good damage.
Yeah, it does quite a bit. Misses 1. Buys.
Misses the sword.
Misses the sword. Buys again.
Boost damage. 5 damage.
5 more. Cool. I took an arm out. That's cool. I'm like, as much as I can will help here because I just don't want you to be able to clear stuff and then I can give you a charge lane. So I debated here to run the pyro around to engage your 1 Jack. But I'm like, if I go for the Earthborn first and I do enough damage, I might be able to finish it off. So Earthborn's going.
He's going to try and throw the Reckoner.
He's going to try. So I got it. I boost a hit. Hit. Strength check. I'm only 12. I roll 14. And you roll a 6. So that's a second fail throw in this game.
So Earthborn fails the strength check. Which,
I buy an attack now.
Thankfully for a War Beast, he can just continue buying with Fury. So he does that.
So I buy an attack. I hit. I roll 11, so I do 8 damage. 8 damage because it's dice off 15.
It's dice off 4.
Roll 11. Do 7 damage. Bye. Outside of Stone Aura. So once again, it's only 22. So I didn't actually buy. I just put Earth Blessing on myself, so I can't be slamming stuff.
Yes.
So the power goes in and charges. Puts his Flaming Fist on himself. He becomes a POW 14 himself. He has 2 claw attacks. Hits. POW 14 charge. Does 6 damage. And I forgot to use the second initial. Cool. But I did take his arms out.
Yeah. Castigator no longer has arms.
Fire check. You take a few more points of damage. And it's on Evan. What is your plan now? You survived.
I survived, which is I wasn't expecting, to be honest. And I feel like my only out is to kill Doomy. Now, how do I do that? I have to throw Mulg out of the way so that the Crusader doesn't take a free strike. And I have to deal with one of the 2 Maulers. Yeah. It's not great. Because I have to clear a path to Doomshaper without giving you any fury, basically. But I also have to keep enough on Durst that he kills your caster. It's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. Especially because the Castigator up top can't throw anymore because you've broken both of his arms, and the Mechanic can't go over and fix him. So allocation here is tough. It's tough to figure out because I don't know what's going to do what. I don't actually think I can get to Doomy because I have to kill 2 Maulers that are full health. I haven't done anything to them because they healed. So does a Reckoner kill a Mauler? Dice +1 when it's not in the stone, which they both are. So dice -1 is going to do assuming he hits every attack with his mace and I don't boost damage, is going to do 6 times 4 is 24 damage, which a Mauler has
6 boxes.
30 health.
Boxes.
Doesn't kill a Mauler, so it doesn't clear the path, so I can't get to Doomy. That's it's not good odds. So the other option is just kill heavies, hope I live with Durst another turn, and hope I can start getting John low enough on clock that I can win that way. Because we're both pretty low on clock at this point. We're both about 10 minutes left. So what is the out? Because Durst is engaged by one of the 2 Maulers. So he's also engaged by Mulg. So he can't really move all that much. The Castigator back there is just going to get allocated 1 focus, spend 1 to stand up. Or sorry, he might even get allocated 2. But either way, he's going to spend 1 to stand up and then get empowered a focus. And then he's going to go punch stuff. Because he's got no one but Mulg to punch at this point. Mechanik repairs his movement so he can actually do stuff. And his left arm so he has both arms. I empower him, and he's going to go walk up and punch Mulg. Mulg is in the Stone Aura, so he is going to be dice -3, which isn't great. Castigator is a bit pillow-fisted. He's more of an infantry clearing tool because of combustion, but I unfortunately can't make it to the stone unit, so not great. This choir member on the bottom is going to battle the Castigator, so he can go punch Mulg better. The Hierophant goes and heals Durst for 2, because I'm not going to be casting any spells this turn. I dropped Bulwark as well, because I feel like I don't have enough Jacks or Battlegroup models to actually take a lot of benefit from Bulwark being up. Castigator walking, not charging.
Defense 10, armor 21.
He hits. Dice off 3. Does some damage. Hits. Does some damage. It's a lot of... It's chipping away, and is basically making it so that the Crusader is going to be having a better time of finishing Mulg off, as opposed to the Castigator killing him himself.
So you miss 1.
I did miss 1 attack. Crusader moves between the Mauler and Mulg, making sure both of them are within his 1-inch reach. Hits with the mace. It's not battled because the choir was too far away.
And plus, he lost 3 members of the choir last turn to that throw.
Yeah. Had he been in rage, I would have battled the Crusader over the Castigator. And then
so
the Crusader...
7 boxes left. You need a 10. You rolled a 10.
Boom. Yeah. Kill him to the box.
Not taking the Fury.
Because you have plenty of that.
Yes.
So what's next? Broken Arm Castigator says hello to Hoarluk. So I decide not
12?
to... Yeah, I decide not to boost the first attack. Just try to roll a 6, and then the second attack I can boost. Because if I roll a 6 on this attack, I boost damage.
So he boosted,
hit,
he hits.
Does 5 damage, because it's dice
1.
+1.
So he's on 3.
I did not make room for the Reckoner to get to Hoarluk here by accident, so I guess he's just hitting an Earthborn. Or actually, I think I move him down to try and hit the Mauler, just because I think the Earthborn's in such a spot that it's not particularly relevant. And if I hit this Mauler, I might be able to get Durst a little farther up to get nice up close and personal with Doomy. Even though I only have 1 focus. So it's not a great plan regardless, but it's better than nothing. So, Reckoner is going to do it soon. I promise. It's going to happen. Basically, the plan is kill a Mauler, because also Durst can attack this one. I miss my first attack. I hit my second attack. Dice even? No, dice -1. Miss my other 2 bot attacks. So I only hit the Mauler once, and I didn't do great damage. So that Reckoner completely failed me. Durst He's going to hit that Mauler. Hits, because he's mad 8. Dice off 6, does 2 points. Buys an attack, does a little bit more damage that time. I'm out of range of the Wrack, so I can't pull a focus off to camp. So I just flip it over to John and see if he can kill me.
So I take 5 off of this blue Mauler. And I take the other one with the whelp. So I'm maxed. Earthborn is full on Fury. He has to make a frenzy check. He frenzies, even at threshold 11. Into your jack. 3 dice I hit. Pow 15 though. Does a few points, not much.
First time that Reckoner's taken damage, and he takes 3. Because he's been sitting on the end of that zone all game.
So my plan here is to kill the book. Who once again just stood there and did no spells. Kill the book. Cast Rage with Doomy. And basically kill Durst. Should be pretty simple.
It's a good plan.
Easier said than done.
Win game. Sounds like a good plan.
So a book just walks around. You have no weapon. I have 5 attacks to hit. I need to hit you 3 times. So 2 hits, 3 misses, and the last one, or 4th one hits.
Yep.
Book dead. Cool. Doomy goes.
That book did a lot of work for me.
Before I go Doomy, I go Doomy first. Walks up to the flag so I can cast Rush. So Rage. So I Rage. I walk around to the flag, just for the hell of it. Camping a lot.
I believe you.
I put a couple in the stone too.
You also puppet master some stuff here.
Yeah, it comes up.
You puppet master a whelp.
I puppet master a whelp for the hell of it.
The BM is real.
Yeah. One Mauler goes up. I need something to hit. I boost it because no, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm def 13. I retail.
But you can't retell after.
I thought John had rolled damage. He had not. I just retailed beforehand because I thought it was funny. So that was a retail that shouldn't happen yet.
So I forgot I have hyper regeneration. So wait a second. Let's go back and just deal the damage first. I'm like, cool. Yeah. Let's do the damage.
Dice plus 2, rolls an 8, kills me exactly. So that retail didn't actually happen. I thought it happened.
If it happened, I would have just regenerated for 1 and then.
Exactly.
I went for it.
So Durst died.
Yeah, Mauler kills you.
So things we learned.
Scenario, the scatter plot thing, I dislike. I feel like it could be changed if you scatter. You can only scatter towards the center of the board. Even start.
I don't think that's the solution. I think just starting with those pieces closer to the center of the board is, like I mentioned at the start. Instead of having it be in the middle of a quadrant, have it be within 10 inches of the center of the board. The first terrain piece placed. Mm. And in each one in a separate quadrant. And then off of one of those each within 10 inches scatter. As opposed to the opposite way, where it's center of each quadrant and then 10 inches of the middle. Other way around. And I feel like that will probably, hopefully, makes for some more interesting boards.
Well, this is Doomy 3 into Durst.
And Recon 2.
And
Sorry, what did you think of Recon 2 after playing it?
Like I said at the start, I feel like the terrain made my playing Recon 2 was a little down. I feel like if there was more terrain in the middle of the board, more stuff to play around, I feel like the problem would happen. The scenario would be more alive.
Do you feel like if there was some terrain on maybe closer to one of the flags or in front of one of the flags that it would make that more relevant? Because that's a thing that could happen.
I think for sure, I feel like picking sides for us, it didn't really matter. Like, it didn't matter what side we were on.
No, it didn't, because everything was in the middle of the board.
Right across in a straight line.
Right across in a straight line.
So, like, yeah, it didn't really matter to us. Train setup is definitely would play a difference with Recon 2. I don't like it not able to score with warrior models anywhere on the board. It's kind of like a putback, but then once again, you also have the other scenario.
Outlast is the same way. You can't score with warjacks.
So, I don't know. We'll have to see. Have to get more testing in. Train setup will be changing, I hope.
Yeah, hopefully scatter terrain gets better, because both times we've used it on the channel, and basically every time we've used it not on the channel, it's made some pretty irrelevant boards. But that's useful information for them, and we hope that helps them get through the CID process and make it better. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time on Arcane Assist.